You slide it up. Okay. Okay. Good morning. We are in Tafkuf Memhei. Well, hopefully people heard the share somewhat yesterday. I don't know. However, technical difficulties. We are up to Tafkuf Memhei Vav. Ein Kaisvin. So discussing about Ksiva on Chol HaMoed. It seems to me there's a bit of a discussion. What exactly? I'll just bring a little bit background because we get into one Nakuda over here. Ksiva is a Maisa Uman. Now it used to be that they had Seifim who wrote. Regular people usually didn't write. They had official writers. So Ksiva was a Maisa Uman. However, the Ramah's Mekel to a certain is Mekel by Tzarchei Mitzvah, Tzarchei Rabim to write Ksav Veshita, which is handwriting, Bikaron. But by Yachid, the minig is to be Machmir. He says the minig is to be Machmir by Ksav Veshita. The Mechaber is not Mechalik. And of course, you're allowed to write for Davra Ove. So it's up to Sivvav. Ein Koisin Shtarchov b'Moed. We don't write Shtarchov. If someone's borrowing money, you don't write a shtar for that on the Moed. If you don't trust him, Mal v'Leive. If the Mal does not trust the Leive, which in general is always a good thing to have something written down. I mean, you're talking about Ma'amina, you're talking about, unfortunately, in Bezdin, half the problems are because people aren't clear and don't write things down. We're talking about, Mamino is someone like, your son, I don't know, whatever. Leiva tzarech lamalos, if the Leiva needs malos, needs to pay for yontiv, or she'ein lo sefer ma'yoichal, or you want to go ahead and support the sefer. Harei zeh yichtov, then he can write Haggadah.
Is there an issur to lend without aiding?
That's why I pointed out. Well, that's why I just pointed out that obviously we must be talking about a case. I mean, I'd have to look through, in Chol Mishpat, but talking about a case of Ma'amino where, it has to be something like really Ma'amino, like or Shiva. Like you're talking about, someone who you really in that case you really trust your son. I don't know, even that I don't know. But generally, it's better. You shouldn't write it without a shtar. I don't know. Zayin called the call of ein lichtov hagal mutar lichtov shtar mechira b'moed. Since it's davar aved, you can write a shtar mechira if he wants to sell something tzarech HaMoed. You're allowed to do that. Aval ein lichtov shtar arisus v'kablanos shekiba kodem HaMoed. You can't go ahead and write shtar arisus v'kablanos because shtar arisus kablan they're. Well, you would say in the older English sharecroppers, that means someone who works on commission. Arisas are the people who work on commission. Usually the arisas used to be where they worked the land on commission of a certain amount of produce that they would produce. So there's a certain shtaros that would write, so that you shouldn't do because truth is arisas akablanos is also to do there's no heter to do it. He's not a poil. He's not someone who he's working the field and will get produce. He's not a day He's not a day worker or a salary worker. So therefore, there's no heter for him to work. Normally, unless it's some davar oven in the field, but that's not. So you can't write a shtar arisus or kablanos. Zayin kol dvarim shemuter lichtoiv afiyu below shili muter. Anything which is muter davar oven, tzarchei rabin, tzarchei mitzvah, things like that. It's muter to write afiyu below shili muter. You can write straight, write it normally. Also lichtoiv, anything which is also, I feel like the shinoi also. Shinoi does not help. Right? We're not talking about over here. We're not. The question we're going to get into what does shinoi do? Is shinoi make it into? It makes it into Maisa Hedjot. It's a little bit unclear. Either l'chara makes it into Maisa Hedjot. Maisa Hedjot is that you do something. The shinoi, what shinoi are we talking about over here? So either is Mr. Burr says, we're talking about the shuni in a derech siva. You hold it you hold it in a funny way like this, or what Magen Avraham brings, and everyone's very machmir when they saw use their left hand, use this. Magen Avraham says if you're writing something, all you need to do is write it in the you write it diagonally. You write the first line. You don't write it straight. You write it diagonally, and then go from there. And then then it's obvious. This thing you're writing is not a Maisa Uman. It's a Maisa Hedger, and that's enough of a shinui. There are other shitas that hold that you have to go discussion that you should write broken letters. Obviously, person who writes, you write shorthand, that would be a shinui. There's no problem. If it's a tzarech, that l'chor would be, would be okay. Because according to the Ramah, according to the Mechaber, if it's motor, it's asur, it's asur. According to the Ramah before, it says the minig is be machmir. However, it's by right b'shinui, it's mutter. So we're talking about what we're talking about in that case. We're talking about ksav b'shita. You're talking about not actual ksav, and you're talking about something which is not sheila shalom, which is not mamach tzarech HaMoed. It's a good thing. If you're then you should write b'shinui. You don't have to write with your left hand. You can write, whatever. The question is also with kids. Should your kids write normally or not? They want to draw a picture. They want to write. Should you tell whatever? So it seems to be a bit of a machlokes. But etzim with kids, so you can let it two ways. Yes, technically they're kids. So what? Let them write. Whatever. But I think there is an idea of being mechanech kids to know that you don't write a Chol HaMoed. It's not such a big deal. I mean, you have to, every time they fetch, you don't have to whatever. We don't write Chol HaMoed. You don't have to go ahead and I'm not getting to chinuch, But Uncle Potter, they should have no idea that we don't it's something we do. We don't write a Chol HaMoed. It's it's a macabre idea at least. Hago beluchos shoshava. If you have a wax block, muter lichta if you she'enu ksav miskayim. Well, there's a shayla over here. What's the fish she'enu ksav miskayim? Some say the pshat is what's the pshat? Either it's they ask a question on the Ramah. What do you mean? Ksav she'enu miskayim is also on the. It's also on Shabbos. So what's Aksav Miskayim? So either they say that over there you're talking about you're writing on top of it's on top of a paper with some wax there, and you're writing in that. That's made to be erased. Here it's in a block. It's in a block of wax. The Gra says the Gra is really interesting. The Gra says that since by Shabbos it's not a malacha, so therefore it's not. You don't have to worry about it over here. Shmasha from the Gra that one of the main issues of ksiva is that tircha, not ma'isa uman. It's malacha. It's malacha. It's malacha Shabbos, and therefore it's ksav she'enu miskayim. Once you get it down to the Rabbanon already, then that makes things different. Question is if you have to write something down, what's better? Type it in the computer or to write it by hand? Which one is better? So it's a bit unclear. If you go with the tzad, I think if you go with the tzad that talking about malachos, so first you have the Ramah over here. You have the ksav she'enu miskayim by your computer is ksav she'enu miskayim, and already you have the Ramah to rely on. The Gra says it's by Shabbos it wouldn't be a malacha deraisa unless you say what about writing on the computer or writing on the phone, whatever whatever the electricity you're using. Okay, that's one side. Then again, you're writing tsiva, so according to the Gra, it's a malacha, so that would be more chamor. I guess if you write b'shinui, I don't know. I think it's what I don't know if one's better than the other. If you wants to type and so he has it clear, it's better. If he wants to write b'shinui, he can write b'shinui. But to write straight or to write, if it's tzarech HaMoed, it's tzarech HaMoed. I don't know if there's any reason one mile or one or the other. Misha shalcho lishol mimenu sheila ve'ena shlich v'tzelis achiv arach HaMoed. Someone who wants to send a sheila and the shliach does not want to wait until Achar HaMoed. Mutter l'kasva, you can write it. The guy can't wait around. He has to travel. You're allowed to write it because it's davar aved. V'chein mutter l'hatika eshechoshev davar aved. You're allowed to copy over the question or anything like that because it's that's davar aved is something where even you have to write it down because they want, like, the guy's leaving, the guy whatever. It'd be important to do. Test v'im shama dvar chidush. If you go hear a shir, you want to write down the shir, then you can write it down, so you won't forget it. If you see a sefer mutal hatikai, it's mutter to copy it over. If you can't copy it achar moed, you understand this. Well, what about copyright? If you're talking about, first of all, if you're talking about a general sefer that used to be getting around Sfarim was hard, and finally you found the Bali Tesis or something, you want to copy it down. It's fine. In regular Sfarim, you have the Shach, you have the Chasam Sofer, who say that that every Divrei Torah it's mutter to go ahead and to copy it down, to copy it over. That's not taking anything. That's Divrei Torah. We don't they don't have specific rishus over it, and that's based on Tosefta, that you are allowed to copy it over, as long as you're not being mazik the guy by doing that. And they say usually, well, Moshe Hol, I think, whatever, to copy a couple pages, photocopy a couple of pages from a sefer is not going to mazik. It's not like you're photocopying a whole sefer and putting it out. You copying a few pages from a sefer, is l'chor would be okay. So too over here on Chol HaMoed. Danin bein dinei mamanos bein dinei nefashos. You dan. Bezdin can run mamanos and nefashos because someone is davar aved. Shamtin umaklim mishlo kibul alavadin, and they can put a charomim, put a cherim out, or punish those who are not makabel the din. And nowadays we don't makim. No one, there's no bezdin which hits, but there's other ways that bezdin can force a person or into doing different things, not just putting signs up about him, but that there are other ways. Mutter likbol b'shvil chayvayisa b'soch HaMoed. You're allowed to. They used to announce by the bima, I guess after Shachris and whatever, anyone who owes me money is in Kherim if they don't pay, and everyone should know different things. It's different things that they do. That we don't do it nowadays. It used to be that they would just say that anyone, they would get up and announce, anyone who knows anything who owes me money, or anyone who owes me money should tell me, or otherwise he'll be in Kheir. So that's much to do on Chol HaMoed. Tafkuf Ben Vav, about Erusin and Kedushin. Ein noisi nashim b'moed, lo b'sulos, lo almanos, lo b'yavnim. We don't marry women on Chol HaMoed, and not b'sulos, lo almanos. And there's a few different reasons why the Gemara brings. One reason is Arvin Simcha b'Simcha. Second reason, and we learned that out of from Rachel and Leah. Another reason is because of the fact that the drashim samachta b'chalkecha v'lo b'ishtecha. Others say because it's tircha, because make a chasna is you're not going to be able to focus on chag. And the fourth shita holds that if everyone just the way the Chol HaMoed is vacation time, so therefore just like in America, everyone waits for Sunday to go ahead and to have a chasna. A lot of people do, so because then people have off work. So at Chol HaMoed, everyone has off work, so everyone would push off all the chasnas to Chol HaMoed, and the bittul pirivivia, no one's gonna get married. So 2 times a year, so. Therefore, the Chachamim said it's aser. The Edson we paskin ein marvin simcha b'simcha. That's the main sheet that we paskin like. Poskim ask, what about Purim? Is Purim you ought to? The Magen Avraham asked it later on. Hilchos Purim, you ought to go ahead and get married on Purim, and he's machmir. Those who are mekel and whatever. Because what exactly is what's the simcha here we're talking about? Ein marvin simcha b'simcha. Simcha's ishto. It's the idea that not that we're making a chasna. Let's say if that's a shoeva, right? So if we just put a chasna in the middle, throw a few Od Yishama's in, and yalla, you're already making a simcha anyway, so what's the big deal? Right? It's not like that's no tircha, you don't do anything, everyone's dancing around anyway. So the issue is not it's for the chosin himself, the chosin kala, that they're going to be so focused on what's called being simcha. It means to just be happy with each other, focus on each other. It doesn't mean it can also mean dancing and singing. I mean, that's not the ikar simcha. Is they're happy that they're getting married, and that joy. It's the joy of getting married, not the rikudim. So even if you would go ahead and stick a chassan in the middle of the simcha shoeva, it's not going to help because the problem is with him. He won't be able to focus. So that's why it's ema arvin simcha b'simcha. Muter la'aretz levad shelo yaseh sudas erisin. You're allowed to be ma'aretz. You're allowed to do kiddushin. Used to be the kiddushin. That as long as you do a sudas erisin ha'arus beveis arusalsa b'shas erisin, you can that it shouldn't be in the the sudas erisin shouldn't be in the kala's house at that time. Shidduchim, I mean, is definitely okay. Doing a vart, I don't know. Umuter lasus vikudim u'mecholos. However, it is mutter to go ahead and after they make the erisin to dance and sing, because again, dancing and singing is not. That's not the simcha of the chasna that we're talking about. Yes, it's most of the simcha, but the simcha is acting the akal kanal v'chasuda, that it needs to dance around the chasna and say how wonderful the kala is. That and that's makes him have cheshik for the kala. That's the simcha. Oh, you're such a chashuv kala. I'm getting married, whatever. So it means vikudu mecholos. That doesn't make a difference. But if he has a sudas erisin in the house of the aros or whatever, so then already he's focused on the woman he's going to marry. So that's or they're going to marry each other, whatever. That's a problem. Lastly, sudas aros im mireyav wants to make a var shelo v'esav v'saso. Or he wants to, again, we're not doing erisin, so they just want to make a vart in the house of Chol, it's okay. If they do it here in Eretz Yisrael. Some people, or many Israelis, generally do that. The erisin is fine. If nowadays, okay, whatever, you have to ask a shaila, a mutter. But these are mutter. Now, the reason why erisin is mutter on Chol HaMoed is famous discussion. The Shul says because maybe someone's going to chop this girl away from you. So the Gemara asks, what about Kosh Baruch Hu's Avi Zivugim? And so it says Shem Yeknu Acher Berachamim. So the Gemara brings the Meister that someone was davening. And the person can go ahead and daven. I want that girl, whatever. A woman can, whatever, and chop her away. And so the Gemara says that the Rav saw someone davening, and he said, "Oh, we don't do that. It's not the way we do things." So he saw the guy davening. Well, I don't get to marry her. We both should die. He says, also, that's not okay. So the truth is that just to get slightly a side issue. This is Zeh Makom, comes to zivugim and stuff and whatever is it's a less pshat. I mean, we have to have a certain amount of bitachon. How do we know a person has a zivug, didn't have a zivug, and whatever? The truth is that Rishas Chachma brings. Shimshon also they talk about that there's some scary things. Shimshon says that if a person. If a woman, or they daven for a specific person, it could be it'll work, but it's going to be gorim. It might be gorim misa chas v'shalom to them as they get older. It's going to be the marriage is going to be terrible, or Rosh Chochmah says some idea that if it's a wrong zivug, then the woman, the wife can, his first zivug, she might die, so he can marry the actual zivug. Scary stuff. The Lamai says is that Ramosha writes in Drash Moshe. He says that a person shouldn't make cheshbonos of is my zivug rishon, is my zivug There's a whole bunch of shitas about it, and it shouldn't. He says you should not worry about it because sof This is who you're supposed to marry. However it came about, and however whatever, this is still from the Kodesh Baruch Hu. So after a person's cheshbon, these are cheshbon shemayim. You wanna get into the Sodas Torah. Fine, whatever. She is zivug, not my zivug, whatever. But since you can always daven and change things, whatever. He says the person has to have bitachon and muna and bitachon that this woman I married is my zivug. That's what Hashem wanted. Did I make a mistake? Did I do that? You know what? A person should never. He says the person should think that because this is what Hashem wanted. You didn't make a mistake. It wasn't your zivug, whatever. Okay, I don't know. There's different shitas. But a person has to be mamin, and although he says it's a big avla if a person doesn't is not mamin. This is my zivug. They're having some shalom bayis problems. I must have married the wrong zivug. Chas v'shalom. This is the zivug. This is what Hashem wanted you to marry, and that's all you really need to think about. Mutter beis mutter lahachzer grushasa min nesuin. You are allowed to go ahead and machzer his grusha even from the suin, because that's not so much simcha. And there's still this idea that there's sort of like the idea of there's still somewhat of a kesher. Never got married again. There's still a little bit of some sort of kesher. All these things. It's not really a big simcha, so they're allowed to get married again. Akol mutar lisa be'erev haregel. Everyone is mutter to get married on Erev Yom Tov. They'll also suda beregel and they can do shar brachos on the regel, on the regel. And it's not uncommon to have shar brachos in the sukkah, the seder. It happens. People do it. Bein basulas, bein almanos. It doesn't make a difference. You want to say, well, maybe basula is even more. Almana, I understand. It's not so much simcha, but basula is more. Is more simcha. Afal pikein. The ikar simcha is the chasna. So afterwards, it's anyway. Shar brachos anyway is only rishus. It's not a chiyuv to do shar brachos every single day, every single meal. The lashon chazal is that if the friends, the people come to the chassan kala, come sit and eat with the chassan kala, and there's a minyan, so they bench, they say shar brachos. Let's say it's a marbet simcha to make shar brachos. It's a beautiful thing. It's not it is a chashuv thing, but it's not a chiyuv. It's not a chiyuv, to do that. So therefore, that's not like the ikar simcha. The simcha already happened. It's just mostly simcha. So therefore, it is mutter in other even to have an erev yom tov to go ahead and have and you can have the suda at night is also like they used to be in Europe. Because they didn't have enough money. They used to make the sudas by just they used to share make it by Suda Shabbos because they didn't meet for one meal whatever, so they used to do it by an Erev Shabbos for Suda Shabbos, and so too it's much to do it for an Erev Yom Tov because the Iker Simcha is in the beginning the Lechuppah, and not even the first Suda. Daled muter la'asais beregel sudas bris milah and sudas pidyon haben. There's no problem to make any of these sudas. Even though if they aim at Arvin Simcha, but Simcha, that's only Simcha of Nisuin and Erisin, which is completely, occupies a person's mind. But that's fine. Oisa Isha Kodach Shitea B'Moed. A woman can beautify herself in any which way she wants to. Kochelas Pokesas Pirush Nachleches Sara Lakan Lakan. That she has hair, and talking about whether she's married or not married, even a married woman, she covers her hair, but she can go ahead and comb it to the side, make it look nice. She can go ahead and do face masks and all these types of things. As long as this thing can be done on the moed. She's allowed to shave her body hair, maybe even with a shaver. And she can go ahead and shave the sides over here so the hair doesn't stick out from the hair covering. The reason she'd be allowed to, also be, this add-on thing, the Gemara in Sanhedrin says that by Ma'asav Amnon Tamar, it says that it said that he became a Krushavcha because Tafus Nima, she had a hair there, and it made him ma'aker him. And the Gemara says because Tamar was a Fastoyar that hair was only, but used to be the Jewish girls didn't have body hair. It was more beautiful just because of Chataim. So eventually became, they grew hair, like the goyim. It's just, so therefore, it's a shaki shem, whatever. It's a choshev thing. It's not a, it's for the mikveh, the started to make different things about being sure they shave and stuff, whatever, because it's also a symbol of chait, symbol of, different things like that. Just to finish with one little joke, I'm not going to be careful to say that it's an ethnic joke, so whoever the ethnicity is, we'll leave that up to you. Let's just say whatever ethnic group it is that that they don't not makpid on shaving hair and whatever. So how can you tell the difference between you're by that group as a wedding? How can you tell the difference between who the bride is? The bride is the one who has her whose armpits are braided, but that like I don't know. Could be a mishavech if I yidin. It's women are only because of chait. They have seyar, and I guess lots of lovo. Women are much easier for women to put the beauticians out of business somewhat. Anyway.